I haven't enjoyed training this much in God knows how long.
My lungs are on fire. My legs are like jelly.
Tell you what, walk on your hands, barely walk on my feet.
We are doing our first Hyrox competition. It's 8 kilometers total. In between each kilometer, there's a station, an exercise which you have to perform, a combination of ergs, some sled stuff, some carries, some lunges, some burpees.
How will your training change after the event? It's in 3 weeks, isn't it? Would you say you're both ready?
Supra Human.
Hyrox. So we are doing our first Hyrox competition.
When you say we, not me.
Yeah, I me and Taylor are doing our first Hyrox competition at the end of January. So we thought it would be a good discussion to talk about, not just to talk about Hyrox, but essentially doing something completely contrast to the way that we've trained for probably more for me, but still you apart from the last couple years, but like complete contrast to how we train, because we've got bodybuilding backgrounds. I know you skied when you were younger, but it's really just been bodybuilding and strength and maybe like some power as well. You know, we did like Olympic lifts and stuff when we were at university, but really didn't do any endurance or
Any muscular
aerobic.
endurance.
I've never done any competition or race that's an aerobic race.
See, I've done even like the fitness stuff that I've done. I would still say I'll still say
More power and anaerobic.
Yeah,
based.
like very
Yeah.
hard bursts, and then like getting your wind back, and then hard bursts. So
Yeah.
like these like more prolonged events.
Because even
definitely something that I'm not.
even when you typically program intervals for someone chasing body composition or someone that like doesn't like cardio, those interval sessions tend to be like, 15 to 30 seconds of hard effort, and then whether it's like 30 seconds or a 2-minute recovery,
minimum of 1-to-1 work to
but
rest.
the energy system you're using is still that anaerobic system. So it's very, very hard on the lungs, not as hard on the legs and your overall kind of body. Whereas the stuff we've been doing now has been some like zone 2, a lot more zone 2 work, and the intervals that we have been doing has been almost continuous effort, but it's kind of like a 8 out of 10 and a 4 out of 10. So you don't really get the full recovery. It's you're working for 4 minutes and then you're doing something else for 2 minutes.
Almost like minimum like 2 minutes, but most intervals are being like between 4 and 10 minutes or something like that. They're longer.
You're trying to replicate what happens in Hyrox, essentially, aren't you?
Yeah.
You know?
So I'm sure most listeners will know what Hyrox is, but we'll do like a real quick overview anyway. It's essentially a running race.
We should know. We got it in about 3 weeks.
It's essentially a running race. It's a kilometer run, and then in between the runs, there's 8 kilometers total. In between each kilometer, there's a station or an exercise which you have to perform, and this is a combination of ergs, so ski erg, row, some sled stuff, some carries, some lunges, some burpees.
Wall balls, is it?
Wall balls. Yep. And so one thing which is that whoever I think it originated in the UK.
I think so.
Yeah, but whoever came up
Either
with
that
it,
or Germany. Something rings a bell, Germany.
I'll put money on the UK.
Yeah, I'm not putting money on Germany.
Not since 1945. But it's what they've done really well is they've lowered the barrier to entry massively in comparison to something like CrossFit. So not too dissimilar from like the Tough Mudders and Spartan races were a little bit more, but like Tough Mudders, it was all about participation. And so they were like 5 or 10 mile runs, and then there would be kind of stations outside, whether it was like climbing over a wall or doing some monkey bars or something. And it was really just, it wasn't about winning the race. It was just about completing it. And whereas CrossFit, there's a really high skill component at any competition. And then the other thing with CrossFit is every competition, it's varied. And a lot of times you don't know what the event is going to be until maybe 1 or 2 days prior. For the games that they do every year, you don't even know till the day of. And so you have to kind of be ready for anything. And if there's a movement in there which you can't do, for example, like walking on your hands. You can't do the thing. Whereas all of the stations in Hyrox, pretty much anyone could learn to do in minutes
within a session.
You know, it's like a burpee everyone can do, you know, a wall ball, a little bit of coordination needed.
Like you might cock it up a bit, but you're still still gonna be able to
still
do
be
them.
competent.
Like double unders, you could spend half hour trying and still never do one.
Yeah.
You could do an hour trying and still never do one.
Yeah.
But
Tell
like
you what, walk on your hands, barely walk on my feet.
yeah, when just like that. So
you have your hands taped up as well.
yeah, but it's been a massive change in the style of training because we've had to anytime you start to do a kind of like a contrast in training, there's obviously conflicting adaptations between, say, strength and aerobic fitness. Like there is somewhat of a complement to, you know, if you're fitter, you can probably recover in between sets of your strength sessions more effectively. Yeah. But whilst you're training both of them, being able to run far and fast isn't going to improve your bench press, and having a strong bench press might even hinder your running because you have a tight chest. And so trying to
big old pack.
And so what people will typically do when, say, they go to the gym 5 days a week and then they say, oh, I'm going to do a half marathon. What they'll do is they'll add running training to their current training program. The problem with that is your glass is already full with your training program of your 5 days a week. Like you've already maxed out your recovery with those 5 sessions, and then you're pouring water into an already full glass, and that's where you start getting injuries, overuses. And so if you're going to add something, you have to take something out. And that's kind of like a lesson I learned a few years ago by doing that, where like the first thing I did with this style of training was like, right, what's the minimum I need to do with my strength and hypertrophy training to maintain, so I can add all this other stuff, because it's going to take up way more of my recovery because I'm not very good at it.
Yeah.
But also I don't want to get any overuse injuries or anything, but I also don't want to lose a ton of strength. I don't want to just completely get rid of all my weight training and just be a cardio bunny.
Yeah. But I guess for you, you're just from the Hyrox perspective, you're in a position where your strength numbers they so far exceed what's needed for a Hyrox.
Yeah.
You can afford to scrap a fair whack, although you don't want to. It's like technically I could not
lose a
lift.
bit.
You could not do any strength
and
work and just flat out do aerobic work.
It's like you can afford to lose a bit, can't you?
Yeah,
as well.
It's just what you have to think about is what happens after this event. I don't want to have to go back and try and put it all back.
I think that's one of the biggest mistakes people make. They don't look at like what is the minimum dose response. They don't prioritize.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They just, like you said, just add stuff on top, and then that's when injuries happen.
Yeah.
You know?
So what's happened? How did your training look pre-prep, and how does it look now?
So pre-prep, really the only cardio that I would really do is steps. And then if I was dieting, like for example the photo shoot that we did I guess 2 years ago now, because we're in 2026,
about 18 months now.
I would do, like, I would go on the bike, and but the goal of that was just to essentially burn calories. I'm not doing it for a fitness benefit. So the first thing to do was I had to get like a baseline of like, well, can I even run? And the answer was no.
That's one thing I will say.
Yeah.
We're not built for Hyrox at all.
No.
We're so far, like when you think of a runner, like what do you think? Tall, slim, light on his feet.
Yeah.
We're short, not slim. Even though we've slimmed down, still not slim, and quite heavy on our feet.
Yeah. So it was like, so when I started, I couldn't even run for 5 minutes. It doesn't matter the speed. I couldn't bounce up and down on my feet for 5 minutes. It's like my shins would start getting pumped, my lower back would start getting sore. Going on the rowing machine, doing like 500 meters because my technique was so bad. Again, arms just getting pumped, and it's like, well, how am I supposed to row 1K if I can't even do it for that long?
Yeah.
So it was almost like, in one way, it's been nice because I'm being so bad at it that all I have to do is do it. And every single session, I'm better. Like when you start lifting weights, you just like, you don't even need a training program. Just go and do stuff, and every time it will get a little bit easier. So I've kind of like experienced the newbie gains of the cardio side. But the main thing, which I haven't done in the past ever, is I've progressed so slowly with like my running that I'm actually competent now, and I don't have any injuries or niggles, or like, you know, my calf's not playing up, or my knees aren't sore. And I'm probably like, not like, my running still isn't great. Like, it's manageable, but my aerobic fitness on, say, like the rower, assault bike, skier is pretty good. Like my engine's pretty good now. And one thing, the biggest thing I've taken away from it is that I really enjoy it. Like, I really enjoy that feeling. Like, it's almost a bit nostalgic, because we used to do horrendous conditioning sessions at college, like on the track where you're running like 400s or something. And I've gone so far away from that for years of strength training and bodybuilding that it's nice to just like do an hour conditioning session where my lungs are on fire, my legs are like jelly, but I'm not having to move massive amounts of weight. It's just been a complete like breath of fresh air for my training.
I think that's quite a good start point, is when you started doing the training, as you said, like for a beginner, well, we are beginners. From an aerobic standpoint,
100%.
I would say we're in the beginner category.
Is there one before that? 'Cause I'm that.
It's like, you always see people like, well, what type of intervals shall I be doing? What type of sessions shall I be doing? Shall I program it this way? And when you're like that raw, anything is just, there's so much juice to be squeezed out of just doing stuff. So it's like, you don't need to be doing the long intervals. You don't need to be, doing very specific cardio sessions. Like, just start getting your heart rate up for extended periods of time. Like, that's all you really need to be doing. And then you can start off like, because if you're doing no cardio in a week, and then you do 2 20-minute cardio sessions, like, that's already a big jump there. And there's some juice to be squeezed out there. And then you can progress it up to 3 20-minute sessions. And then you can progress those up to 3 30-minute sessions. And then 3, and like, it just goes up and up and up and up and up. Because with cardio, it's very like volume related. Like, so you look at, the elite level marathon runners, you'll often see like the very, very, very top percenters accumulate something like 240 plus kilometers a week, something like this. And then the step below that, they're like just sub 200 kilometers a week. And then standard below that is like, they're about 170 kilometers. So it's like the guys who just run the most generally are the ones who can run the best as well.
Time on your feet.
It's just time on feet. So it's like, well, if you're doing nothing, just accumulating, again, with Hyrox specifically, because it's so much running, just time on feet. Even walking a lot. Like, some people, they go from doing like 3K steps a day, and then they're like, oh, I'm going to go out and run 5K. Like, mate, your feet barely do anything. Like, running 5K, as in 5 kilometers, when all you've been doing is 3,000 steps a day, which is what, in 1K? Like, 1.5K? It isn't much. So it's like, that's a massive jump up, and that's when you get the overuse issues, and that's when people go, oh, thing is, running's not good for me because it hurts my knee. And it's, like, it's because you just do way too much too fast. And again, I've fallen into that bracket so many times where I've escalated up. But it's because even just from like bodybuilding training and strength training, you've got the ability to train hard. And then like light aerobic work for 20 minutes is not hard. So you're like, oh, I can do more than this. But it's like, but your joints can't tolerate more than this. So should you be doing more than this is probably the thing.
Well, I experienced that last week. So like, and I was walking 15K steps a day, like minimum. And obviously I started running, and then like my weight training is already on like minimum dose response. And I was like, because I did 15K steps there, I wasn't even using more time. I was just like, right, I'm going to use some of these steps to increase the intensity. And I went from doing like walking 15K to then 30 minutes of that trying to run like 5K I did. And my joints were killing. As I told you, like, I could barely walk. So like, that's how quickly I escalated. I was like, well, that was a dumb idea, you know?
And say that you were wearing Etnies skate shoes.
Yeah, I was wearing skate shoes as well, so that don't help. But I was like, just going from that to like 5K, and I was like, my joints were killing.
It like opened your eyes to thinking like, because you would consider like, I'm quite fit. It's like, I'm strong. Like, I've been lifting a long time. I walk loads. Like, I'm active with the kids. Like, I'm quite fit. And then you go out and run what you would consider like a short run, like a 5K. You're like, mate, my body was fucked. Like, it was absolutely blasted.
It literally was.
I think like one thing I've liked about it as well is like how humbling it is to be the beginner again.
It's so nice. There's so many gains to be made.
You put me in, you put me in a gym with like, and the goal is like a bodybuilding session or powerlifting. Like I'm very, very confident.
Yeah.
Like I'm not the strongest guy. Like I'm not a good bodybuilder, but like I've done it for so long that it's like, that's my wheelhouse. And then to go into like the CrossFit area of the gym, when there's guys it's like that's their wheelhouse, and it's like, and I'm the mong that can't touch my toes, trying to use a ski erg and looking like an idiot. And it's like, it takes you back to when, like for our clients, for example, when they're first setting foot in a gym and they're like, I feel like I'm the black sheep in here. Like it doesn't feel good when everyone else is better than you. So it was really nice to be like, I'm the newbie, and I'm the one that not everyone's looking at you, but it's like you feel like everyone's looking at you like, why is he here?
Yeah. But to be fair, you did have your pants down. So.
Yeah. I was trying to strap up to the skier. What's he doing? Why has he got his weight belt on?
I tell you another thing as well to empathize with our clients, like, because obviously I'm a really poor runner at the moment. Like, I don't enjoy it, but part of it is because I'm not good at it either.
Yeah.
And like, obviously, when clients are lifting, it's like, I don't really enjoy it. I say, yeah, because it's a skill you're not really good at. When you get good at something, you tend to like it. And in my head, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, God, it's just so boring. I hate it. But it's like, yeah, just because you're shit at it.
It feels awful when you start. Like even just jogging is hard. So it's like it feels really uncomfortable, and it's just long. It just feels like it's taking forever. So you've got to just sit in that uncomfortable feeling for quite long periods of time, and it feels awful at the start. But now, like, I'll do an hour on a treadmill, just like, and which is for a lot of people, the thought of it is very boring.
Yeah,
but like I quite enjoy it to some degree.
The other part is you have to like we're talking about, like because my strength is what I've focused on for years. That's not a limiting factor for like Hyrox, for example. Like doing a 9 kilo wall ball is like, that's nothing to me. Like I hit the ceiling with it. But for other guys, they might be really competent runners, but like the farmer's carries, for example, which is like 32 kilo kettlebells, is actually quite heavy for them. And so it's you have to prioritize what you suck at, which takes you back to like just training in general. Like if all of your training sessions feel really good and you just do stuff you enjoy, you're probably leaving massive holes in your overall fitness because you're not doing the stuff you suck at. And so like most of the sessions that I've been doing, like I still, I do loads of rowing, loads of assault bike and stuff because it's less wear and tear than just running. Yeah. But the priority for me has been like, I need to improve like running on heavy legs. And so I don't need to go in and I need to do station work every single session. It's like, because I can do all of those even when I'm tired. Yeah. Whereas
we haven't even practiced the farmer's carry.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not concerned about the
not even
carry.
worried about it. Like, and again, I've done loads of burpees at this point, not worried about that. Like the sleds, loads of leg strength, like rowing, no problem. But the running, like when fatigued is been a struggle. So like all of my running training has been on heavy legs. So it might be like I might run for 5 minutes and then I go do 100 lunges and then jump straight back on the treadmill and try and run. Because even people will go, oh no, I'm solid at running. It's like, yeah, but all you've been doing is running on fresh legs. Like go do 5 sets of 10 back squat, then jump on the treadmill. And so you have to train specific for the event. So I think like up to a certain point, being strong and being kind of fit will get you competent to a certain point, and that's when like sports specificity really, it starts to go down different avenues. Like even with like bodybuilding and powerlifting, when you start, the same program will get you stronger and bigger, but then as you start getting stronger or you want to gain more size, your training completely changes. Like powerlifting turns into loads of technique stuff and reps in the 1 to 5 range, like rate of force development. Bodybuilding turns into like isolation and volume and different rep ranges and stuff. And so even with the aerobic stuff, it's like the closer you get to the event, the more specific you need to go. And it goes straight back to like sports performance, like off season, pre-season, in season.
So that's perfect the way mine has looked. So like again, strength wise, I'm not as strong as you, but I'm strong. I'm strong as needed
it's
for
still
Hyrox.
a limiting factor.
It's not something that I have an issue with from a Hyrox standpoint at least. I probably have an issue with it in other type of content. But then, so when I first started my training, like I was doing like some strength stuff, loads of like low impact stuff. So a lot of like time on the bike, time on like the rower. And I was running 6 days a week, but they were all like easy runs because all I was trying to do was just get my ankles conditioned, get my knees conditioned. And again, there was so much juice to be squeezed just out of the easy runs where like my back doesn't hurt, my knees don't flare up, I don't have any issues like that. And once I got to that then as we're getting closer to the event now, like slow running is not what I need anymore. Like I need to be able to run quite quick in bursts. So like I'm running quite hard and then I'm doing something else. Then I'm running quite hard, then I'm doing something else. So now instead of running 6 days a week, now I'm only running twice a week. Because one, you touched on it earlier, because we're bigger and we're heavier and we haven't got lots of running experience, the running, and you've had it recently where the running hammers your joints. So like your feet can get a paste in your knees. So obviously if we just ran hard daily, like some other Hyrox athletes might do, we're just going to fall apart. My knees are going to be gone, my ankles, and I'm not even going to make it to the event. So what I've done is I've now run twice a week, but both those sessions are hard. Like they're really hard sessions where there's a lot of muscular endurance stuff, like some stations, and then a lot of hard running at that like race pace. So then those sessions beat me up. Like my legs are fried, like my ankle gets pretty beat up. But then the rest of my sessions then are lower intensity, just accumulating like cardio work, but on things like the C2 bike, on things like the rower, or I'll do like an incline walk even. So it's like I'm getting my heart rate up, but I'm not accumulating trauma like the other sessions are. So now it's like there's 2 really hard days. Sometimes I'll get a third in, but normally 2 really hard days, which are very like specific to that event. So they try and replicate the types of things I'm going to be doing on that day. And then the other work, again, is still just accumulating other cardio work and just making sure that I'm getting my heart rate up without trashing my body as well. So I've gone from like general fitness and just building like a general base to now like, well, on this day, at this time, I've got to perform a certain way. So what training sessions are now going to get me to perform my best on that day? And then once it's done, then those sessions will change again.
Yeah. It gets more sport specific as you to the event as you get closer. Isn't it, you know?
Yeah. Like I'm doing like burpees, wall balls, rowing. So like all my cardio stuff is all based on all the hard stuff anyway is based around that. And so it's like because that's what I'm going to be doing. So it doesn't matter what I can do, you know, in other things because it's like that's not going to help when it comes to this event.
So it's in 3 weeks, isn't it?
3, just over 3 weeks.
Would you say you're both ready?
I'm like, it was so.
Do you think we're ever going to be ready?
I tell you what, like before Christmas, because we were talking to Sully, he's done a couple of them.
Yeah.
And I was chatting to him, and he was like, "Ben, like you need to start running. Like you say you feel good, but like you haven't done any running." And I was like, "Yeah, you're right." And then so I started doing more, and like the last 3 weeks, my confidence has massively gone up with the running, just from the type of sessions that I've done. I'm like, oh, that wasn't as bad as I thought. Like my ability to like the upside is, even though I haven't been doing much running, all of the sessions I've been doing has been continuous hard efforts where you don't really get rest. So even if you're like resting, you're still moving at like a zone 2 pace. So my ability to recover while still doing something is really good.
Yeah.
And even now, like a couple of the sessions I've done, there is like a 1 minute rest. The ability to get my heart rate back down and recover is skyrocketed. Like I can do like a 3 minute hard bout. You give me a minute to just breathe, I'm ready to go again. And my repeatability has got really, really good. So I'm really excited for it because it's just, it's completely out of my comfort zone. Like I've never done anything remote. Like, you know, I haven't ran a 5K park run, like with all the people and stuff. And like,
and he signed us up to the pro event.
Straight in the, if you're gonna do it, do it.
Do it properly,
jump in 2 feet.
But I was I've been like chatting to him, and I was like, oh, so we'll do this one. And then he goes, oh no, I put us in for the pro.
Yeah,
and I was like,
no half measures.
It's one of those things, you know, when you're so poor at something, right? You can either be like very humbling and like deter you away from it, or you can be very motivating and be like, I'm gonna
But
become good at this.
I think in general, like obviously the event lined up really well because we have one of our elite events the days prior, so we're going to be in Phoenix anyway. But I think that was it lined up really well as a reason to just do it, because I think if it wasn't then, I wouldn't do one, and it would take me a massive push to like go, oh yeah, okay, I'll sign up for that and drive somewhere to go do it. But I think the overall thing is like now, especially just with like previous injuries and things, and you know, I got no plans to ever do bodybuilding again or powerlifting again. Now, like my overall goal is like, well, I just want to be competent at everything. Like it's almost like you don't want to be like a super soldier, but I don't want to be in a situation where I'm useless.
Yeah.
And so if my car broke down and I had to, you know, get somewhere several miles away, could I jog that like and be okay? If I had to lift something heavy and carry it, can I do it? Like if I had to swim a certain distance, could I do that? And it's like I think like all these different situations where like my biggest, I guess like fear, like I would say fear is like it's just being useless.
Yeah.
Like if you're like you're in a situation that's an emergency or whatever it is, and you're like, oh no, I can't do that. Like it might be like climbing something, and it's like, oh no, my grip, like it's not very good.
Yeah.
And I hate that feeling of just not being capable. And so it's been really nice just to develop areas of my fitness which I've massively neglected for years.
Yeah.
That like I feel so much better as an all-rounder now that I'm more confident in more situations. It's like, yeah, like if I had to do something consistently for like an hour where my heart rate's up, I'm not going to be exhausted.
Yeah.
Like, and I can still lift heavy and and stuff.
That's it, isn't it? It's like bringing your weakest link closer to your strength. It's like,
Yeah.
it's all right being like, all right, I can squat 250 kilo, I'm fit. It's like, yeah, but you can't run 20 minutes continuously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like,
yeah.
you're useless.
I don't want to be extreme in any area,
yes.
but I'd like if someone said, "Oh, like you could," like I would hate someone to go, "Oh, you couldn't run 5K," and I go, "Oh, yeah, I can't actually." Like,
If someone said that to me, I'd be like, you're right.
But it's
Hey,
nice.
not for long.
It's nice though when you're like, so that example, it's like based on your say body composition, and someone says, "Oh, like you couldn't do that," and then you can perform pretty well at it.
Yeah.
It's almost like, oh, like you're more impressive than you look in all of these different things because you've trained them. Like
I'm more like I don't want any holes. I
Yeah.
don't want any holes in what I can do. Like I want to be able to do most things pretty well.
Yeah.
Rather than like, oh, you're shit at that. Like you're really crap at something. This
Yeah.
is
Again, you'll probably still have strong and weak points. Like I would say, your strength is always going to be
It's always gonna be
it's
strength,
better,
yeah.
but like you're just minimizing
Closing
the
the
discrepancy
gap.
between them both.
I'm
Yeah.
never going to be a great marathon runner, and I don't want to be, but I want to be able to, you know, if I had to run a half marathon, could I survive it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like in like a reasonable time.
Yeah.
But going back to when you said about if you're ready, like you haven't done that much running to prepare for it. But the thing is, like fitness wise, like we did one the other day where we basically replaced all the running with the same volume pretty much of
On the bike.
of a bike.
Yeah.
And you're holding like your paces on that stuff is strong. Like you're pretty good on that stuff. So like fitness wise, you're definitely ready.
Yeah.
And then the running side of it, although you haven't accumulated like the distances that a lot of other guys would do, you only need to do it on that day.
Yeah.
So it's like, again, I would imagine because of the lack of running you've done, you're probably going to be fucked the next day.
Oh, I plan on it.
Yeah, like your feet and your knees probably going to be pretty beat up the next day. But you've definitely got enough running to survive.
Yeah.
So it's like I've just got to suck up that I'm going to be in a bit of pain the next day.
You'll see, like you were saying, you see loads of guys, and again, these are like the top competitors and stuff. They're probably accumulating, 30 to 40 miles a week of running. But the event's 8K.
Yeah.
And it's not only 8K, it's broken up 8K.
Yeah.
So
and they're also doing zero bike.
Yeah.
So it's like you're replacing a lot of the volume with the lower impact stuff.
In my head, I'm like, I don't even need to be able to run 8 kilometers. I need to be able to run 8 1 kilometer intervals.
Yes. Yeah.
And be able to do an exercise in between. So like I've gone like very minimalist with my running is like, because if I go, when I get to like 10 minutes, my shins, it's like, well, you don't have to go 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Because you have to run 4 to 5 minutes. And then you get a couple minutes doing something else.
And like ski erg, and then that's going to be draining. That's going to be
that's what all my training has been around. Like I really haven't done much zone 2 running because it's like I've been running for between 4 and 7 minutes, sometimes shorter, then go and do something else and then jump back on it. And
so the duration that we've got, zone 2 running is not really going to do much for us anymore.
No.
Like that's gone.
Especially this close to
that time is gone.
If I was 6 months out, that's all I'd be doing.
Yeah, you can do more of it
yeah.
then. But for now, it's just like you just got to make sure that you can
If I-
survive the duration.
Because equally, if I said to you like, oh, like I did a 10K yesterday, like, you know, and it took me an hour 10, it's like, cool. That's going to be useless on the day because you're going to be running much faster and you got to do all this other stuff. So you have to kind of train for
like
it.
obviously the better you get at running, the more likely it's going to help. But for the time that we've got, it's like you just need to be able to run fast in bursts of around 4 to 6 minutes, somewhere around that mark.
How will your training change, or will it after the event?
Less running, even less than I'm doing now.
But I've really, really enjoyed the aerobic side of it. And so like I'll probably be the opposite. Like I'll probably do more running because I think I'll see my performance and I'll be like, God, there's so much like room for improvement there.
I guess more of that base level running.
Yeah. And also, you know, we might do it and be like, you know what? Like training up to it was great. Just really didn't enjoy the day. Probably not going to do another one. Might do it and absolutely love it. And so like, I think like, the whole point of this conversation, you know, for you guys listening is one, you know, we're like body composition guys, like, and that's what we kind of focused on, whether it's fat loss, muscle building kind of thing. But you get to a point that then you say, then what? Like, then what do I do? And then my view is like, well, let's put some go with the show. Like it's all, you know, if you just want to look good down the beach and you got no drive to be able to perform, cool. Like that's fine. But for me personally, I want to be able to perform for as long as I can. Like, and, you know, in my 40s, in my 50s, I still want some go with the show. Because I once you've just been like a athletic mannequin where it's like you look really fit and you're useless, like part of you is like, God, I'd almost rather look less good, but be really fit. Yeah. And so I think it's...
Although I wouldn't want to look terrible.
No.
And be really fit.
I don't want to know. But I think for... Because, you know, for a lot of the guys like listening, you know, especially even if they've been clients of ours for some time and, you know, the goal has been, you know, building muscle and fat loss and things, like it's not bad to... It doesn't have to be like a 5K or a Hyrox or a CrossFit or something, but like setting some like performance metrics to aim for, even if they're health metrics, but like some kind of like objective thing, whether it's I want to bench X amount of weight, I want to be able to run a mile in this amount of time, I want to be able to do X amount of strict pull-ups. Like I think it's good to set those targets for objective measures because we've spoke about it so many times where when you're in like a muscle building phase, it's really hard to look at objective metrics to quantify like muscle built because it's such a slow process that it's like you're looking at your pictures, maybe your lifts are going up slightly in the gym, but like there's not a lot of like quantifiable improvements other than like in a year's time we'll compare pictures and you're probably going to be a bit bigger and a bit leaner.
Yeah, and the further you go down a path, the harder it is to squeeze anything from it. And like I like seeing progress, so like I don't really care what it is. I just like to get better at stuff. Like, and I've always said that I like just training hard. Like, it doesn't actually matter what I do. Like, I've grappled, I've skied, I've done bodybuilding, I'm doing some aerobic stuff now. Like, as long as I can train quite hard, I'm pretty happy. Like, I don't really care. And it's like from a muscle, like bodybuilding standpoint, like coming from where I got to, I ain't gonna surpass that anymore. Yeah. So it's like, okay, well, I'm not going to get much better at all from a bodybuilding standpoint. The juice has all been squeezed from that pathway. So it's like, well, do I just want to keep hammering that pathway now for another 10 years? Yeah. Just to squeeze nothing from it. It's like all like the juice has been squeezed. So now it's like, well, how full can I keep that pot and now start maxing out the other pots as well? Because if I can maintain like pretty much, I know I've downsized for this event because I'm running, I'm trying to be lighter on my feet. But it's like, if I can keep a good whack of the muscle that I built when I was bodybuilding and add in a big chunk of good aerobic work and keep some good strength stuff in there, and my mobility then is getting a lot better. Now, like I'm just adding to things now. So now I'm seeing more progress again. And I think that's where, from a motivation standpoint, it's great to have goals. But then once you're very close to that goal and the progress starts to slow down quite a lot, well, you need to find the next goal now. Yep. And the goal, if the goal is like, I want to build an extra pound of muscle, over the next 6 months? Like how motivating is that goal going to be?
Yeah.
Where if you're a pro bodybuilder, fine, because it might get you some more money and things. But then it's like, okay, well, what's the next goal? And you start adding these other goals then. And now, like, and I'm sure you can say the same, and maybe Ryan will say the same soon as well, is I haven't enjoyed training this much in a God knows how long.
Yeah.
Having something to train for, even when we did the photo shoot, I really enjoyed that because I had a goal.
Yeah.
And then once that goal is gone, now I've got these other goals and I'm progressing really fast. And it's like, oh, this is brilliant.
And even like, you know, because we trained together, even when we did bodybuilding, like we'd jump in and do a session, but like, it's never competitive because we got different strength levels and things. And so there's no point. And you kind of just chat between sets. It's more of a social.
Dominating from the back.
Yeah. Because again, we're not, you know, in a prep. So it's like, we're shooting the shit basically and hanging out. Whereas
it's basically having pints, isn't it?
Yeah. But the sessions that we've done now is like, you know, we've done a few team workouts, you know, we've done a few sessions. You're not talking when you're doing them, but it's like, and you're not necessarily competing against each other, but you're like, well, I don't want to be shit next to this person.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like both of you are just, yeah. And then it's like, who's going to overcook it?
Yeah.
Like, and it's,
when we did that test and you beat me, I was heartbroken. Literally, I spent the rest of the day just like.
When we did the photo shoot, that was a big motivator. I can't be the shit this day.
Yeah.
That was literally.
Yeah. But it's like exactly what you said. It's been so much fun doing it. And like, you know, a few of the female coaches that we've got train at our gym, and they're CrossFit guys, and they're so fit that it's like, you really want to be humbled. It's like, go train with them. And it's like, they'll beat you at everything. And so it's been awesome. So like, I would say for any of you listening, I know we've kind of just waffled a little bit about kind of what we're doing with our own training right now, but if you're going into 2026 thinking like, well, what am I going to do with my training? Like, take a look at some of these, because it's, you know, there's not just Hyrox, there's loads of different ones. Like we've got, like you've mentioned the triathlon, which is like an erg test that you can do. You've obviously got 5Ks, 10Ks, half marathons,
turf games.
There's turf games, there's CrossFit competitions, there's powerlifting. If you did want to do bodybuilding,
photo shoot.
Yeah, there's, you know, I think going for those, setting those deadlines, and just trying them. And it's, you know, you could train for a half marathon and do it and be like, you know what, I didn't enjoy the training. I didn't really enjoy it. Cool. Scratch it off the list, try something else. But like, and that's kind of what I plan on doing over this next kind of year or two is like, well, I've done powerlifting, I've done bodybuilding. I've never done like a triathlon or a turf games or a Hyrox. Like, let's just go and see what it's like. And, you know, if anything, you're going to meet other people that are like-minded, that are training towards something. And, you know, you could meet some new friends, get some new training partners, get out of your comfort zone. But just like, it's good fun becoming the beginner again and getting those newbie gains. So I would say, you know, if you haven't kind of looked at setting your goals for 2026 and you don't have any kind of body composition goals per se, look at doing some, I know they're called competitions, but I would say events, because even if we like outperform ourselves on what we think we're capable of, we're nowhere near the best. There's no podium in this thing. It's like we're participants. But it's going to be nice to just be like, cool, well, now I've got a baseline of, in 2026, this was my score at a Hyrox event. Maybe 2027, I do one every year. And it's like, well, I'm going to try and beat that and beat something else. And so it's like, objectively, I'm getting fitter every single year. And these are kind of like my baseline metrics to look at, because that's what we're, as Superhuman, we really want to dive into over the next few years is performance. And not just these kind of events, but evidence-based fitness tests, which have a strong correlation to, you know, resilience against disease and, you know, retaining muscle mass and aerobic health and VO2 max and all of these things. So not even from a ego or fun standpoint, which, you know, they are going to be fun, but even if you're looking at just massively improving your health, like there's going to be some cool metrics like that we're going to be looking at.
Standpoint.
Exactly. So yeah, thanks for listening to us waffle about this, but we'll definitely do a recap in a month or so of how
If
how
it
the
goes
event
well.
goes. If it goes well.
If we get a DNF, we're probably not going to hear from
if
us.
you don't hear us mention Hyrox ever again, it didn't go well. But thanks as always for tuning in. Be sure to like and subscribe on iTunes and YouTube and Spotify. And we'll see you next time.
If you love this show, please like, share, and leave us a 5-star review so that we can help more people. I'm John Madsen, reminding you to always go get what's yours.